Good morning. Welcome to Gruber Motor Company. This morning we have a car, a Tesla Model S, that came to us with declining range. It had only 17 miles by the time it got here. It's a 2012, it's well out of warranty. And a declining range car is typical of a faulty battery pack. Something's going on inside that large propulsion battery pack. So by the time we got it up on the lift, pulled the battery pack, we were down to a couple, 3 miles, and we have the battery pack pulled out here. What we did was we began to analyze the condition of the pack and the connectors, and we found that there really isn't any indication of flood damage, which is sometimes the case with cars like this. By removing the intumescent fire suppression blanket, and by the way, this is an interesting device or accessory. This blanket is designed when it reaches high heat or flame to actually expand, which increases the surface area containing any flames getting into the cabin, in theory anyway. By removing this blanket, we began to see that there was an enormous amount of rusting on the bolts that hold this lid on top of the battery. You can see some of the heads on these bolts are compromised so badly that we can't even get a socket on it to extract those bolts. It then occurred to us, this car came from San Diego. So we Googled it, we mapped it, it's only a few miles from the coast, which now indicates that this car has been exposed to atmospheric chloride ions. What that simply means is there is contamination in the air from the ocean, from the salt spray that is migrating inland and most likely affecting steel structures, iron structures, things like these bolts. So that explains why we have this much rust on top of this battery pack. So what we also found interesting was another statistic. It turns out half the world's population lives near coastal areas. And it makes sense because it's prime real estate. So this should be a huge concern because the type of deterioration we're seeing here after 8 years is probably indicative of other cars that are experiencing this. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to attempt to remove all of these mounting bolts, because what we have to do in order to get inside the pack is take this lid off. The lid is actually held on with caulk and all of the mounting bolts that you see here. It's a lengthy, laborious process because we have to reuse this lid. At the Tesla Remand Center up in Lathrop, they actually crank these out and they destroy them when they take them off, and they simply go and pull a brand new one off the assembly line as needed. Our software indicates in the diagnostics that we ran there is a resistive cell that is causing this decline in one of the modules. There are 16 modules in here laying horizontally. So what we're expecting here is either a resistive cell or a combination of resistive cell and some water penetration, which has compromised a module or a brick. We are going on day 2 of this Tesla Model S battery pack problem. And what we did yesterday was we removed the top lid on this Model S battery pack, which was badly corroded, and we'll show you some of the things we found. So in order to isolate the problem in this large battery pack, we used our laptop, which sniffs CAN bus signals and helps us identify which module is giving us problems in this pack. It turned out the module that was affected was the upper module here on the end of the battery pack, so it made for an easy removal. The top lid that you can see here is badly corroded, and if you remember, this was a coastal car near San Diego, And what we learned is that chloride ions create a very corrosive, caustic environment with the tops of these packs. We had a difficult time removing this lid because all of the hardware was badly corroded. So bad, in fact, that we were unable to use the normal sockets we would use to remove this hardware. Fortunately, we got it off. We're going to have to replace all of these bolts. And we then removed this module of cells and put it on our workbench. And here you can see we've got it standing vertically. There are 7,104 cells in a large pack like this. There are 16 modules like this in an 85 kW Tesla Model S battery pack, comprised of a collection of 18650 cells, which look like this, just like your common vape cigarette cell. There are 6 bricks in each one of these modules. A brick is a collection of 74 of these cells connected in parallel. And that's where the problem occurs with these packs. When you end up with a parasitic or a resistive failing cell like this, connected in parallel, they all look the same basically, and it's very difficult to find. We perfected a method for being able to isolate that one parasitic resistive cell and neutralize it. And the irony here is, out of 7,104 cells like this, it takes only one to kill a car. And that's exactly what happened with this car, with this pack, and with this module. And you can see what we've done here is, this is the bad cell here. It's in a brick, and what we've done is simply snipped it out of circuit. So it's no longer active in that brick, in that module, or in that pack. And what we're currently doing is bringing it back up to voltage, and then we carefully monitor its performance. How is it holding? Is it degrading? Is it declining at the same rate as the other bricks? We've done a number of these types of repairs already on the Model S, and they generally function just fine after our repair, and the car is drivable again. So the next procedure that this top lid for that battery pack is going to go through, we're going to straighten it back out. The reason it gets crinkled like this is it's very difficult to take this off because of the amount of seal and caulk that they have on the packs. The reason we have to save this lid is because there are no lids available to purchase from Tesla. In this particular case, we were fortunate in that with the amount of rust that you see on this lid, it turned out that it was all surface rust, and our worst fear was that there was some penetration and that some of that brackish salt water got inside the battery pack. It turns out that was not the case, and we were fortunate to have, again, one parasitic cell that was causing this problem. Once we have this lid back on the battery pack, considering the car comes from a coastal area where this kind of corrosion and rust will continue, we're going to do something different than we normally do, which is spray undercoating on top of this battery pack with brand new hardware underneath to prevent any further damage like this. As always, watch our channel. We've got a lot of Tesla tech going on here. At any point in time, check out our website. We've got parts, cars for sale, for example, and of course lots of roadster stuff. That's what we specialize in. Thank you for watching.